step across this line. I never dare you, motherfucker. Cross this one.
Electric sparking wires exposed. Skoda cuts deep where the truth erodes. Rebel in the trenches, voice explodes. This the HLS, the code overload.
And I completely forgot that there's a line where he's telling a lie. And the dude that he's lying with is like, I just want you to know the lie was working. You messed it up.
That's everybody I live in this house with. Every single person that I live in this house with would absolutely do that.
Yep. It's great. So we're having a good time because I've realized like my partner, my wife hasn't seen so many movies. And so it's like, you know what? Let me just go back and like watch these with you because I haven't seen a lot of them since I was a kid. So
I haven't
watching
seen the movie at all.
Oh, you should totally see it. And like when you see it, like, oh, I completely get why this guy was like a star. And to that point, there's so many movies. Like I remember one of the first movies I had her watch with me was 12 Angry Men. And
the original?
Yeah, the original.
Oh, so good.
So good. And to that point, it's like I like where we are now, where it's like we have all of these movies to like still watch and see. And like she's gonna be seeing them for the first time. I'm gonna be seeing them, a lot of them for the first time as an adult. I look forward to that.
I went on a Hitchcock tear for a little bit because here's a Hitchcock. But have you watched like all of his movies?
Not all of them, no.
And I probably watched like maybe The Birds. Like that was it. You know what I'm saying? And I went back. This was a couple years ago, and I was like, let me watch Psycho. I haven't watched Psycho. Let me watch
Rear Window.
North by Northwest.
Oh yeah.
The what's it called? The one on the train where they trade murders. I was like, oh, this guy was like.
This dude
was really good. Yeah.
So and like you had to be there. Go ahead.
Good.
No, because
on that note,
not like you had.
Tell me to go ahead and then you go.
Because you told me to go ahead. We both going. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay.
On that note,
I will. The other day, my nephew comes over because it was my niece's birthday, and she was doing girl stuff. So their parents were like, "Yo, can they stay over?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care. Like, I love when that dude comes over." So he's coming over. My kids do too. All of a sudden, he looks at me and is like, "Uncle, let's watch the Goonies." And I'm like, "Oh, excuse me."
I don't know. Remember the last time we tried to show you this movie
is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Awesome.
Goonies Never Say Die, right? And so I'm like, yeah. This is like a couple of days ago. Out of nowhere, he says this. Now, we tried to watch Goonies with the kids before, but the thing is, with old movies from our childhood, you have to sell them and present them correctly. There was way too much going on. So hold on, let's wait till Electric finishes reading the thing he's reading. We're on camera now, bro.
Yeah, we could see. We could see you.
We can see you. And his wife came over to our place and brought all the kids together. And we were supposed to watch the Goonies. This big thing. So they're like, yeah, let's get this food together. And they like
popcorn
got all
and
this
everything.
food. And they made it a party, basically. Which was great. But like, it's supposed to be a movie. And so all the kids are in party mode. So we put the movie. And then they put the movie on. Because I had to go somewhere. I forgot where I had to go. Yeah. But they put the movie on in the middle of the party. None of these kids are going to stop watching the movie to stop partying to watch the movie.
Party. Yep.
So then I was like, hey, kids, stop having fun and watch the movie. And then like that never works either.
Ever.
So never watched it. But anyway, we watched the Goonies and it was the greatest. My kids loved the movie. But my nephew, who asked to see it out of the blue, fell asleep like as soon as it came on. So he never saw it. But my kids were like, yo, this movie's amazing. It was a good moment where I got to share like one of my favorite movies of all time with them. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go through a lot of my favorite movies of all time with them as well too. So I think Ghostbusters is next.
We did The Sandlot.
The Sandlot is not one of my favorite movies, but it is a dope ass movie.
My kids are playing baseball, so now it hits different.
The Sandlot's great. I love the movie. It's not my favorite, but it is classic. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. So that movie hit right at the right time for them. Yeah.
I was thinking about Stand By Me, and I'm like, I don't know Stand By Me is appropriate.
No, do not do that.
I never watched Stand By Me.
Oh, it's so good. God. It's so good. It's a coming of age story.
Yeah.
But they gotta be a little older though. A little older for Stand By Me.
Yeah. And what's the other one? The
Outsiders?
Nah, Macaulay Culkin and Oh Girl.
Oh, My Girl.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'd be more concerned about them not really following the plot.
Both.
Yeah. The ending, it's not a spoiler because, like, oops. Like,
Yeah. It's a spoiler. There's a lot of people, and that's the thing. That's my thing is that
we might be
these
talking to people
movies
from other generations.
exactly,
There
and
you
these
go.
movies are so old now that people don't know. And it's funny because there are references. There's like earlier today, like a Gold Experience.
JT Gold Experience. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought
JT
you about a
Gold
movie. I was like,
He's
person.
back at my company now, so he's my coworker again. And
Oh.
like I made this big deal about him coming back, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like me and Rebel are like the same person, but from like different universes." I was like, "I mean, it's more like," and I put up analogy where he's Stefan and I'm Steve Urkel, and I was like, "Man, there's a good divide." Where
if you didn't watch Family Matters, you're not missing much.
A lot of people are not gonna get this reference, and it's like, man, we're already at that point. So
if you didn't watch Family Matters, you're not missing much.
Man, skip you.
Dude, so did you watch that Marcelo Hernandez's thing on Netflix?
No spoilers.
You and Yaki have to watch it.
I know. We saw, so she loves to watch like morning news programs. And so he was on, of course.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he was NBC. So like they were like, and we're bringing you. So like he was talking about it and like, it was like, yeah, we need to. And I saw like the little bit of like the Netflix like 5-second trailer for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is gonna be perfect. So
he has this bit on Full House.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna talk about it. He has this bit on Full House and how like it never registered. I never liked the show. I never liked Full House.
Really?
I watched it, but I never liked it. And it actually made me really upset watching the show. Full House and Family Matters always pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because being raised in an immigrant household, this is not reality.
Yeah.
This is not raised in an immigrant household that was part of the community and the socioeconomic place that I was at. I hated it. And I told my wife, I actually didn't really like the Cosby Show that much either.
Ooh, blasphemy.
No, hold on. I didn't really fully get on board with the Cosby Show because so much of it was like not my story. It just didn't, it felt like fake family. Although there was a lot of things that they did in the Hucks household that was straight up immigrant stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was just like, nah, dude, I'm good.
Yeah. The undertones were there. And to that point, for me, it was a lot of, and to this day, I cannot stand when the protagonist makes bad choices. But of course they have to, because that's how you move plot forward a lot of times.
Protagonist.
Yeah. It's like, and my favorite things are where it's like, hey, technically, protagonist made no bad choices. Like this was just a unwinnable situation that much better plots. So yes, sitcoms, they always have to be in a situation where usually it's the result of their bad decision or something of that nature. So yeah, I can get why it's annoying, but hilarious.
I was gonna say that Claire Huxtable was written to be Dominican. You know that, right?
What?
No.
Yeah, she was supposed to be Dominican.
Wait a minute, she was actually supposed to be Dominican in the show?
Yeah.
That's
and
news
then
to me.
H-Town came through, won the part.
No, he's saying that Claire Huxtable is Dominican.
In the first season, she was written as to be Dominican, but
then they changed
it. Yeah.
Okay, I thought she was actually just Dominican. I thought that you're saying like, oh, newsflash, yo.
Yeah.
Nah.
And then they were just like, nah, we'll just leave
Alicia
it.
Richard didn't. She definitely did not play her Dominican.
Yeah.
Just the time where she was like just sad. I was like, ooh. The way she did that sad, man.
My wife is so.
Who didn't have a crush on her?
Speaking of which, Teacher Moses.
Yes.
Let's talk about Teacher Moses real quick.
Yes.
Teacher Moses looks exactly like Claire Huxtable. Yo, it's crazy.
Like
it's crazy.
It's one of those things where like
she always looked like that.
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't.
How do you spell her name? Teacher Moses.
D-R-A.
Yeah, Moses. No, and it's a new development because I remember when her first album came out. First of all,
I love the album.
Highly underrated album. Like she really didn't get as much.
Like when did that happen? When did she just morph into Felicia Rashad?
Is that her mother?
No, they're not related.
That's how how somebody's like, oh, you favor this person. No, that's
Bro, they look the same, dude.
Yeah, like, and they are not related.
And I'm like, she didn't look like
she did not.
this.
No, it happened over the last like maybe
She
5-10
says
years.
she don't see the resemblance. Girl, get your no.
Yeah, for real.
No, she has to see the resemblance now because
You
like
gotta
it's,
be flattered. You
Yeah.
have to be.
Hold on. So she's a thicker Felicia Rashad?
yes. There's no downside here.
Think Felicia Rashad a little younger and thicker. You're like, oh snap, yeah.
I take her
Hey,
as she was. She don't need to be thicker. I thought she was fine the way she was.
she was.
Yeah.
Listen,
Man, I've had a crush on Teacher Moses from day one.
I take the thicker.
This is like, hey, man, whoever was it's an investment that's continually paying off.
The thing is, people who are thick, right, in their older years, that's the size they just gonna be.
Yeah. And
So
it's
that's
great.
that's them. But if you are in your older years and you're all slim and stuff like that, it don't take much for you to just change. Now,
Mhm.
granted, you can change from that to thicker and it's still all good. But I'm saying, yeah, you ain't got nothing to hide. This is me who I am. So
I've definitely made that
And
investment before. Like, you know what? When you get older, you're gonna be thicker. I'm gonna just wait.
And with all that said, we're like 10 minutes in. So welcome to the HLS podcast, everybody.
Mhm.
And today we're going to be talking about
what? have you
Oh.
been here before, bro?
Yo, shout out to Major because I see him with Teacher Moses in this picture. So shout out to Major doing his thing.
That's what
Major.
I was thinking. I don't know who Major is.
Major is a amazing vocalist. He is a Christian artist, but I want to say he
Electric type it up. You could say he made your look him up.
no,
Yeah.
he I
No?
want to say he's still in the Christians. I don't know that he's like gone secular, but secular music now. It happens, folks. Christian. He's always gonna be Christian, but
You gonna keep up looking around them artists? You gonna actually introduce the show?
no, man. Can I just give Major a shout out? That's the home.
No, you don't know him.
Yeah, I do. Through Zach. I know him through Zach.
Oh, okay, then never mind. Maybe you do know him.
That's what I'm giving him a shout out.
Does he know you?
Yeah, through Zach. Yeah, man.
Okay, just because you know somebody don't mean they know you. Just checking.
yeah,
Just being thorough.
yeah. That's that H-Town connection, man. Houston
Yeah.
vocalist. Yeah.
Shout
anyway.
out to Zach Rayner. R.I.P.
Yo,
bro.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Zach Rayner. But yeah. So anyway, welcome to the HLS podcast, the podcast that never was. Late to the party, like real late today. To that point, Radical Teddy and Friends, Her Latest Seduction,
Ooh.
Hippies Loving Showers, Haters Loving Semicolons, Habitually Long Speeches. I'm the Rebel Alliance.
I'm Scroto Wola.
And this is Electric Thunder.
Yeah.
So we had an idea to try to do something a little different. And we didn't really have a name for this segment. I like to call it the King of Things, where we all have radical ideas and things that we would like to change in the world, would change in society. We fix. And a lot of things are brought on by like small changes, but sometimes if we had a magic wand or we were the king of everything, what would we change? How we change it to better society? And then I want to present those things and have my interlocutors here ask some questions, follow up. How do we plan on implementing this? Because a lot of times the best ideas lack and fall flat on implementation. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to try to do today, because I have at least a couple. But do y'all want spicy or controversial?
Ooh, I'm gonna let
Mhm.
Electra pick.
Let's go spicy.
Okay. So if I was the king of things, I would make a law by decree, okay,
Here.
that race swapping for like well-established figures should not be allowed.
Define race swapping.
Taking a white character and making them black. Now, there are some exceptions, okay?
Oh, okay.
There are some exceptions, but I'll get to the exceptions later, okay? So Luke Cage as Samuel L. Jackson, in my opinion, shouldn't have happened. I love Samuel L. Jackson. I think he's a great actor. But Luke Cage, not Luke Cage, sorry.
I was
so
wondering what you
confused.
were saying. I was
Nick
like,
Fury.
what?
Nick Fury. You can't get mad at me. If I wanted to be Luke Cage, I'll make him Luke Cage.
I was so confused.
Yeah, I was
So,
too. I was
Nick-
like, when was Luke Cage white?
Nick Fury. Nick Fury. Okay.
Yeah.
Nick Fury should never have been swapped out for Samuel L. Jackson.
I
don't
think
agree
was
with
his
that.
choice though.
I don't care.
Like that
I-
was the writers getting bored.
I love Samuel L. Jackson. I think he's great. But things like that shouldn't happen. And like a lot of people get mad when like, or you're going to give like a black character or have a white person play a black character. The reason I think that it should be the same regardless. And this is not like a purity thing. The reason why I think that is because I think that the fact that there are, why make Nick, like I want to see more black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, Latino people on the screen. I want to see more of them because I think representation matters. But the thing is, making a palette swapping a character is a lazy way to do it. I think you should, if you want more black characters, you shouldn't find white characters and recast them as black people. You should just make new stuff with the new black people. If I want to see more black superheroes, don't make, I would say Captain America, but like that's not a good example. Don't make like Iron Man. You wouldn't make Tony Stark black. You would make War Machine. You know what I mean?
They also had what's her name?
Riri Daniels. Daniels?
Riri.
Yeah, but she's
Williams?
another Riri Williams. She's another person.
Yeah, exactly.
Miles Morales is another person. Make another character.
Yeah.
Don't just palette swap out. Now, I think the exception is because when I talked to my friends about this, they were like, so then you're on the whole thing with Haley Bailey and the whole Little Mermaid thing. Like you were out. First of all, I don't get outraged about the stuff. I think getting outraged about it is stupid. But secondly, I think it's a mermaid. So like, it's not even a real like human.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it matters when it's not a real person.
This
right?
unicorn is the wrong color.
Exactly. Or it shouldn't matter if their race or ethnicity literally doesn't matter to the story.
Yeah.
Like at all.
To that point, a lot of times that's what is happening. Like, does Nick Fury need to be a white dude?
Yes.
Why?
He has a backstory that involves that heavily involves his whiteness.
Okay.
And so a lot of these characters that have all these histories, like they're like Peter Parker's not a brother. If Peter Parker was a black guy all of a sudden, his backstory just wouldn't work anymore the same way. You know what I mean?
he never got bit by the spider because he'd just be chilling. Like
he never got into that program. So what do y'all think about that? Y'all think that should just be like outrightly barred? Like you can't do it. And if there are exceptions, there has to be like some has to be some very good exceptions. Y'all think of any cases where it's like, nah, that wouldn't apply, or that would make me push back on like my stance?
I don't know. Maybe they could take Ryan Gosling and put him as the Black Panther.
Again, that would be, unless that is canonically a thing that happened. No, can't do it.
I thought y'all would laugh. I saw
there is a white Black
generation
Panther
of that. Yeah, the White Wolf.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be Bucky, the Winter Soldier. I agree with you though in regards to that. There can be better stories, and it's funny that you're bringing this up because a few days ago I actually saw a reel about this because they're coming out with a show for Wonder Man, part of the Marvel universe, and they race swapped him, so he'll be played by a black actor. And the guy was basically posing the same argument that you are, where it's like, don't race swap them, create better stories.
Yeah,
that's it. You know, so
I
like 007 is cool because 007's not an actual person. James Bond is a title.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you create a new 007, don't make him the same James Bond. Like James Bond hasn't been the same person through all the movies.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Now, there's a highly debate about the James Bond like people, but like I don't think it's the same person.
I see what you're saying.
At most it's been like 2 or 3 different actual people.
That makes it so much better if we're like, oh, they just keep giving this agent the name James Bond, but it's not his actual birth name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's been like a bunch of reboots. That's my theory.
Oh, I don't think of it like that. I think what you just inadvertently created is even better. Like the same way 7 is like, oh, you're our 7th agent. Like, in your name that goes with that is James Bond. Like, I don't care if you were like Shane, whatever, McGillicuddy by birth, like you are now James Bond. Way
They
better.
never referenced like they never referenced like Dr. No and like Tomorrow Never Dies. Like they never, to my knowledge at least. So
to that, that's gonna make watching these movies so much better. I still want to rewatch all of the James Bond films. So
all of them.
All of them.
Okay.
I'm doing all of the Mission Possibles. I'm gonna do all of the James Bonds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
got a movie room, dang it.
A lot of them are trash, bro. But okay, I love them.
I know.
But
anyway, you know how it goes. Like 7 minutes in it, your partner falls asleep. So whatever. Here's my thing. I think it's a necessary stepping stone because there's a lot of people who would not think outside the box in terms of like, oh, how else could we do this without first seeing it? Not to mention the generation that's going to come up after having seen like, oh, the dude that got all these Avengers together was black. Like this character was black. So I like that the representation is there, only in that I do agree with you that, write better stories. But I think that in terms of so many things, like, don't reboot. Like, there's plenty of new plots out there.
I hear what you're saying, and I get it, but I F that. Like, because it's lazy representation. I found out about Mr. Terrific this year.
I know, we were there. We did a whole episode.
No, I know. Through this show, I found out. I'm like, why am I finding out about this person like this?
Yeah.
Like, how many opportunities did you have to put? Exactly. And instead, you make freaking Deadshot Will Smith. Like, no, stop doing that.
Exactly, though. That's the point. Until you make these high-profile heroes like more diverse, they don't realize like, oh, like you got to remember, they didn't know Black Panther was gonna blow up.
That's their fault. I'm the king. F that. No, let's skip the intermediate step and just move straight to putting people like Mr. Terrific as like a Nick Fury figure in one of the movies. Nick Fury is not central to like the storyline, these storylines in the actual Marvel comic books. He's just not. That's the MCU thing. That's the MCU invention. They could have picked anybody and put him in that spot and made it work.
Yeah. But to that point, there's a lot of folks that need that, like, oh yeah, I just always like Superman is a freaking alien. He does not need to be a white dude.
I don't care if they make him black for that reason. Don't care.
But to that point,
no, I do care.
For what Superman has meant to America, there's no way they would have like. And
he can't be black.
Why?
Smallville. He can't be black.
Even
his story would have completely changed if he was a brother in Smallville.
No, it wouldn't. Think about all the things.
His whole thing is about trying to fit in, bro.
Yeah, and not being able to.
Because he has superpowers, not because he's a brother.
Hey, it really works so much better if he is black.
It works better, but it's not the same story. It's a different. So I'm not going to argue that. I think that would be a much better story to play with the themes. That would actually make Superman actually interesting to me, to be quite honest.
And would make even more sense of why the whole world
it changes the story. It changes the story.
You got too much power. We don't trust you.
It changes the story. It's a completely different story if he's black. Completely story.
It's really there is a black story. Superman though.
It's really not that different of a story. It just hits way too on the nose.
Superman, that's cool, but Clark Kent should be white presenting. It would be a better story, I think, if he was black or even brown. Much better story, but it's a different story, and therefore, no, not allowed. Not allowed.
It hits right to the point. This dude has way too much power.
You can make a what if, like, you know, Marvel did what ifs and stuff like that. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with alternate universes and stuff like that. That's cool, but like, don't abuse it. But just mainstream universe, Earth 212, 616, 616, 616.
Yeah.
No, leave that alone. Leave it alone. So here's some. Go ahead. What did you say, Electric?
I was saying that there is a black Superman.
Well,
is it Clark Kent?
No, it's not. It's the same parents as Clark Kent, but his name is Calvin Ellis.
Yeah,
I've heard about this dude. Clark? Is this an alternate universe thing?
Yeah, it's Earth 23. So this came out back in like
what's the mainstream DC Earth?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I'm I'm a little bit okay with that. If it's because alternate universe, they get like that's like a cop out. Oh, it's alternate universe. You know what I'm saying? If you're telling a what if kind of storyline for like a one shot book, that's okay. But like if you want to be spicy and you just switch it up just cause, that's stupid, and you should be arrested. So here's some popular people that have been swapped: Nick Fury, Johnny Storm, played by Michael B. Jordan, Heimdall and Thor, played by Idris Elba. Oh, Michael Clark Duncan was the Kingpin.
Yeah. Nobody was mad at that either. He did such a great job.
Nope.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
I think he did
a great job. I don't like it.
Yeah. All right.
Why?
For the same reason. I'm like, yo, Wilson Fisk is like Irish or something like that. That's part of like his storyline.
Okay.
There's Black Irish people. I got it. Or Scottish or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like, nah, man, Mark Clark Duncan's a dope actor. You can't find no big ass black dude for him to play. Yeah, there's plenty of people like that. But again, that's the Hollywood machine. Ariel, listen, I think Haley Bailey is a great singer, beautiful young actress or whatever. From what I heard, she did a great job in that movie. Again, I'm not part of the racial outrage that a lot of people say, because a lot of people got super mad off some straight up racist shit. But like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like more of like, yo, she's dope. Use her in other things. Hermione was played as a black girl in a stage play. Interesting. And okay. Anyway, so that's my controversial take. Do you guys approve it or not?
I want the intended outcome, which is make better stories. Because
no in between. There's no in between. We gotta approve it or not.
Are we retroactively de-swapping all of the swaps that have
over time? We're gonna have to remake those movies again, and then
I
don't know. And set it right. But here's the thing: for every time we go back and redo the Little Mermaid with the white girl, right? Actually, Little Mermaid doesn't count. It's she's not even a real person. That's right. She doesn't count. That's the exception. Haley Bailey, you're good, right? But every time we redo, they
gonna remake her white.
Hold on. Every time they redo Kingpin, right? Every time we have to go back and redo a Kingpin, we have to cast another brother in another movie.
They already remade the Vince D'Onofrio's Kingpin.
No, we have to go back and do it. That didn't count. That was something else. So we have to like actively go back and change it.
What do you mean?
Like that was made not to undo the Ben Affleck, Michael Clark Duncan Kingpin. That was made for its own reasons. So in order to truly undo it, we have to do it with the intention of undoing it.
Oh, you mean we have to remake?
Yes, we have to remake the movie.
Daredevil.
And then cast. Because we don't want to take the part away from Michael Clark Duncan. Again, R.I.P. He did a great job, but we need to make sure we're opening the door for other people. Otherwise, this whole thing's useless.
How do you unswap without taking a role away?
You redo the movie and then also, like, you make two movies.
What?
So, for example, okay.
Now you didn't put a price tag on this. Hollywood's like, no.
I don't care, dude. I'm the king.
We don't want to make.
Listen,
we don't want to make the last one.
Nick Fury. We make the next Avenger movie with a white Nick Fury. Boom. Okay. Okay. So now we took a job away from a black dude, right?
Yeah.
So now we create one for him. If they're still alive, like Samuel L. Jackson, we give him another role within the Marvel Cinematic Universe for another dope black character that we haven't really heard of. Don't act like we can't have the same actor playing multiple people, because half the MCU has played at least two superheroes before.
Thanks.
And that's how we fix it. If they're dead, then we find someone who, like, I don't know, looks like them or is in the same, like.
We just let another black actor have a job.
Or that, yeah, I'll take that.
Like that, wasn't that the whole point?
Yeah. So we have to like go back and correct these things over time, and then make like sister movies to go along with it.
But to that point, the people who originally created these characters didn't have a lot of. Look at X-Men. The whole premise of X-Men is essentially Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay.
And it's all white people. Like,
it's not all white people. What are you talking about?
Except for Storm.
Oh, you mean the movies? They only put the white people in the movies, but the X-Men is not all white people. X-Men is everybody, bro.
Okay. I'm talking about like 1960s original X-Men. Who was of color with them?
Oh, the 1960s? Oh, anybody checking for them.
That's what I'm saying.
You mean the Doom Patrol? Nobody checking for them.
But
we talking about the all new X-Men in the 80s. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but that's already been re-swapped by then.
So then we have to go back. No, because okay. No,
So
it's not been. It's not. No, it's not been swapped because they haven't changed. They were all white, and they continue to be all white.
yeah,
No one was white that they made black.
and that's my point.
So we're good. So we're good on the X-Men.
So we just took this. We took what is essentially a story between Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and we just made it all white people.
Because we
powers.
weren't using a race, we were using mutanism as the analog. It's okay. It's fine. It works.
I know, but that's like, like if they could have, because they really could have.
No,
They
they didn't need to, but that's not what the story is. We're not changing the story. The whole thing is we
Okay.
don't want to change the story.
All right. I feel like the story was changed from the get-go.
The story was changed from the get-go. They took something real, changed it, and made a story out of it. That's the story. It's an adaptation, right?
Yeah, but
Otherwise, you would
it's like-
literally have Malcolm X and Martin Luther King on a comic book. Like, you got to change it.
with power, yeah, but like you could also have brothers.
But he didn't. The original story was white people.
Yeah, because they didn't. Because they.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why.
It does matter why. That's why we haven't seen more. That's why a lot of these characters are white in the first place.
Electric, do we need to go back and fix the original X-Men? Or no?
No.
Why?
You don't know. You've never experienced. You've always
hold on.
experienced it as white. That'd be like if black.
Hey, let him talk.
All right.
You're saying fix it. I don't think it's broken.
Rogan.
That's my point. You don't think it's broken because you see it the way it was introduced to you. So to you, this is right. It's like Superman being white. You're like, oh yeah, this is. Of course, he's white. As opposed to, he's an alien.
Was the X-Men originally supposed to be black people? Simple question, simple answer.
Yes. Everything about.
Hold on. Felicia Rashad was supposed to be Dominican, right?
Yeah.
Electric, right?
Yeah.
And you could probably reference where you heard that from, right?
Yeah, it was an interview. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you reference that the original X-Men were supposed to be not where the story was inspired from? That's not the same thing.
It's very like he's pretty much saying, and I don't know like, oh, it's this particular interview because he's said it a lot. He's made it very clear.
We know that it's analog and inspired by the Statue of Liberty was supposed to be a black woman. That is a fact. It was supposed to be black.
But why is
not
that?
Inspired, not inspired.
Why?
Because
the same reason the Statue of Liberty is not a black woman is the same reason the X-Men are not black.
No, because it wasn't inspired by a black woman.
No.
And they went ahead and made it white. It was supposed to be a black woman. And then there was a hard change that happened. That did not happen with the X-Men.
Why? How do you know that did not happen with that?
Did Stan Lee and Jim Lee not Jim Lee, but Jack Kirby draw black characters, and then the studio was like, yeah, you can't do this, and they changed it to white?
Do you think
because other than that,
do you think these two people, having already made successful comics, even needed to have drawn them black first to know we can't do this? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But you can't prove that they,
and you can't prove that it didn't. So what's the point?
Because they were
you can't prove that it didn't. It's vacuous.
So you were asking me the question. What was that question again?
The fuck?
You asked me like, are the X-Men supposed to be black?
I said, do you think do we need to go back and fix the X-Men?
No.
Now, if I find out that the X-Men were initially conceived and drawn up as black people, and then they said, no, we need to change it, that's different. It's different.
Oh, that would be a discovery for me.
That's not the case, and he knows it's not the case. They were inspired by the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Okay. The end. Lots of people get inspiration from stuff and make derivative places. That doesn't mean that it's jacking it or whatever. But anyway, that doesn't fit the.
Really, what they said? They're like, "Yeah, we took the story of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and just made the music."
I want you to challenge yourself and find that, because I can go on a whole thing about that, but that's not what today's show's about.
All right.
So yeah, that's one.
Anyway.
It looks like I have a support on that one as well, at least. The next one is one that I'm a huge fan of, And regardless if you guys agree with it or disagree with it, I want you guys to ask me how would I go about implementing it. Okay. All right.
All right.
Why don't you just skip to that part then?
I'm a firm believer that everyone should get punched in the face really hard. And you guys heard me say this before.
Yeah.
Really hard at least one time in their life.
I got mine.
At least one time in the teeth. So it like really hurts. Okay. I think going further of how I'm planning on implementing this, I think this should happen similar to like when you would hold like a bar mitzvah or a quinceañera or a sweet 16.
Or in college.
Male, female, doesn't matter. I don't care. I think it's a good time that a person should be old enough to actually take a good punch in the face. Power is not that huge of a deal. You're not really worried about like getting like knocked out, like really hardcore if you're getting punched at that age, because people typically can't generate that much power in a punch because most people don't really know how to punch. And so we would have to like find a way to orchestrate like when and when this is going to happen. Obviously, there would be like some damage that would be done to the person who got punched. They probably need medical attention. In the worst case, the jaw might be broken. Maybe they might have a headache. Maybe some bleeding. So I think we should also like give like them like vouchers to like go get medical attention if anything is like needed. So like if you like get punched and you need like some jaw issues or whatever, that would be like completely covered and you're good to go. The only way that you would like be able to like be exempt from this if there was like medical circumstances or something that wouldn't allow you to get punched in the mouth, at which point in time you'd have to like designate a new date to get punched in the face because you're gonna get punched in the face. It's gonna happen. So like if you can't do it at 15, like okay, we'll do it at 25.
Like a freaking draft.
Yeah, you have to get decked in the mouth. And then like I think like the parents should be able to choose who gets through the punching, and then the state has to like approve it.
It's a whole process.
Oh no, because you can't just like, there has to be a system of how to get this done. I'm not out here just making claims, like ridiculous claims without thinking them through, you know what I'm saying? So like if I had like a son and a daughter, I obviously wouldn't get like a dude to punch like my daughter or like a girl to punch my son. It'd have to be like legit. And also like they have to approve it so they know like the punch isn't gonna be like a whack punch. It has to be real. It has to be like a real punch. So like, and we would have to monitor these punches. You would have to either like send in video footage, but like by then AI is probably gonna be crazy. So there needs to be like punching centers where you go and take your kid and then you get like decked in the fucking mouth. But like maybe we can add some like incentives. So like, okay, now you get like a voucher to like a mall or like you get like a tax credit or something like that when you go. So people wouldn't like want to duck and dodge it. And if you don't get punched in the face, then you would get like apprehended and like forcibly done that by the state. Like the state would punch you. Like a grown man would punch like a 15-year-old because they would like know how to like do it where it like makes sense. And if like there's excessive force used on this new punching like squad, then the people would get punched themselves. So that's how I would implement this.
What is the point of getting punched?
I think that there's too many people. And listen, I don't advocate violence. Getting punched in the mouth and violence aren't the same thing. Okay. Violence to me is actually like, it is violence by definition. But like, I'm talking about like actual threat to life and limb. Okay. I think getting punched does a lot of things to you as a human being. I'm a big martial artist. I've been doing martial arts, been part of my life for the better part of 20 something years. And there's certain people that walk around this planet that say and do things, and you can tell that they have never been punched in the mouth before. Because you take your classic Karen examples like that, stick their finger in people's chests and stuff like that, like where I come from and like where you guys came from, you can't just talk anyway to anybody because you don't know like what's going to happen to you. So there's a certain level of respect that you carry about yourself that is learned because you know that you give respect to get respect, and that if you don't give respect, there are certain consequences associated with that. I'm not talking about doing anything crazy like shooting somebody or stabbing somebody, because talking crazy to people like that can be the resulting action of it. But a punch in the mouth will change your outlook on a lot of different things. I know some people who used to talk crazy in school and they got clocked one good time and they became amazing people like overnight, dude. So I think that's the case. I don't think Ted Cruz has ever been punched in his mouth before. I don't think it's ever like decked before. It's stuff like that.
Yeah,
What
he
if
has
the
a
lesson is
nice
not learned?
punchable face.
What do you say?
What if the lesson is not learned?
We do what we can. We
What
do
if
what we
they-
can do. We do what we can do.
What if they learn they can take a punch?
They were gonna act with impunity anyway. We did what we can do. It's not a perfect system, but it's gonna change society for the better. And the majority of people are gonna be like, okay, that could actually happen.
What if all these people that are losing their jobs after they say some wild stuff on the internet is the equivalent? In fact, more so, because you might be able to take a punch, but you get your paycheck taken.
People don't learn off that. People learn not to do certain things publicly, but people's invincibility doesn't necessarily go away.
Do
Like
you
I'm not
think
gonna
there's people who-
be racist on Twitter, but I'll still be racist in my everyday life, is what those people would say. Don't clip me. Is what those people might do. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, you think the people that got busted and canceled for being racist on Twitter stopped being and learned their lesson? No.
do you think some of their quote unquote perceived immunity was not stripped away?
No. Because they look at that as an injustice as opposed to a consequence.
And to that point, do you think getting punched in the mouth would not be seen as the same way? Like, oh,
It's not an injustice if it's part of society. And like listen, you're right. So I'm gonna add this. There needs to be necessary education that goes along with that punch. Like you need to sit down, like you go to the punching center, right? And they're like, hey man, you watch a little 1960s like PSA, talk shit, get hit.
somebody
This is
sits on the
Ronald.
chair backwards.
This is Ronald.
So you decided to be racist.
Ronald decided to act with impunity and talk wild shit. And then Crack is like, yo, don't do that because you might get clocked. Okay. Video reel ends, they turn on the lights, and then here comes the person like, all right, time to get punched. And then you get punched, and then they give you your voucher, and then they do your medical checkup, and then you go about your business.
No,
And
there's
you
a
live
lot.
your life a better person.
There's a lot of people who were wishing for that. No, let me not. Wishing is a black thing. They are hoping to run into this situation. They're like, oh, I was ready for this.
The punching center?
Yeah, to get punched. Yeah.
Again, I can't protect for everybody. I can't account for everybody.
I don't know what this. I don't think it would achieve anything. I can only imagine that content creators will get emboldened by it. Oh, today's punching day. I'm going in for my punch today. And then they come out all bloody and they're just like, look at me, I survived my punch. They can't do nothing to me. And yeah, they're gonna be all hyped up. I think instead you should be allowed to fuck somebody up if they're in front of your face with a camera. I think you should be allowed to do that. Fuck punching day. Give them real consequence every time they act up. Because think about it. You get punched in your face at 16 and you're 28 now. That's a fucking far-fetched memory. That's not going to do nothing.
Yeah.
But the education, the PSA.
Education. Listen, you know what about education? When you go take your test, they teach you how to fucking merge, but nobody knows how to merge when they're driving in real life to protect their own life.
I just said driving was easy.
It is easy.
It is easy.
Okay. So hold on. Electric selling me a little bit on this. I'm not getting rid of the punching centers. That's gonna happen. But we add another, like, this is like a punching like statute. It's a multi-part punching statute where there is certain level of protection against public harassment, more so than there is right now, because there is right now, but more so than there is right now to allow you to just smack somebody up if they're clout chasing and harassing you.
I think you would have the same way people are like, but I wasn't going to be racist. Like, why do I have to get punched? You're going to have that the same way
you to think about.
The same way you hear people now being like, but my great grandfather owned slaves. Why do they get reparations? And
that's for you to think about. Okay. That's your homework. Also,
everybody's getting punched in the mouth.
Everybody.
And then you'll have some sweet, innocent kid there that'll never, you look into their future, they'll never do anything, and they're getting punched in the mouth. Poor kid.
This would have the opposite, where you have those people who are like, oh, I'm going to do good.
I look at people like these
I
little
believe
kids.
the world should be good. and I'm gonna like go out there and try to be as giving and charitable as I can be, get their whole world smashed because they're like, "Oh, what is he doing?"
Oh, you think just
Then they
you think
become the
just because you're
villain.
good and
All
charitable,
of y'all.
you think just because you're good and charitable, you're above getting punched in the face?
Yes.
Yes. And
No,
there
Because
are-
you're
there
not
are
being a
people who
dick. You're
think
not
that
harming
way.
nobody.
And so
no,
they're
you're
gonna
not.
take
No,
all
hold
these
on. No one's
people-
immune to getting punched in the face. I don't care how good you are.
Yeah, but my point is, you're going to change people who might have done good in the world because they had a rose-colored glasses.
Grounds of
on how the world-
responsibility.
So, are you willing to accept the collateral damage of getting punched in the mouth? Like,
You think I'm
essentially-
ignorant to the collateral damage? No, there will be collateral damage. What I'm saying is the benefit outweighs the edge cases.
What if
I
you're
think there's
wrong?
more damage. I think there's more damage being done with people out here thinking that they literally nothing
you-
they can do
Hold on.
deserves a punch in the face.
You really think these people that say the wildest, dumbest stuff don't get in more fights than the people who are smart enough
No.
not to be ignorant?
No,
So
absolutely not.
You think ignorant people get in less fights than
Good people,
conscious,
yes.
and considerate people?
Yes.
You think these considerate people who don't say wild things have all gotten punched in the face? That's why they don't say wild stuff?
I think that the type of people we're talking about usually come from a more privileged background and they know how to hide behind certain things or they'll never have to face consequences. I think those good, nice, good natured people or whatever are often, more often than not, the targets of bullying and the targets of violence
You know-
because they're like that.
Getting punched in the mouth only emboldened me. I got my lip pushed through my tooth. I had a hole in my face. And all it taught me is I could take a punch.
I think that's good.
And so now I'm not afraid to say wild stuff.
I think that's good. You also got
That's
punched by a really short person,
Hey man, he gave it all
which
his.
is why it needs to be it has to be like an equal
Maybe that's why he was like, I need to get stronger.
to collect all the muscle.
But to that point, he gave it his all.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have been the person I selected for you though. So,
Of course not. But I'm
Yeah.
wise enough not to like.
and it wouldn't be me because I can't punch worth a damn. I cannot punch.
No, you have a good punch. You
No, my punch is horrible. Not from
You-
as much training I've been. Nah, as much training I've been doing, I cannot punch.
To that point, as someone who's on the other side of having received their punch, having believed that I was never going to get my punch in the first place, I don't know that this is going to have the education that you think it will.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I don't think the classes to educate after they get their punch are going to be as effective.
In and of themselves, absolutely not. But again, their parents are there. Like there's a parental and societal responsibility as well too.
I don't know, man. This just seems like paying taxes. Like you're just gonna have
Oh, it
people
is. No, it is.
like, the government's trying to make us.
No, it
you know,
is.
Yeah,
Electric, as a martial artist yourself, has getting punched in the face humbled you before?
No,
It's never humbled you.
no. I want my lick back. So I go into a different place. I want to get you back, and I'm gonna get you back.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
But even sparring,
creating
like
more psychos. Like I
Yeah.
need to take
You-
take my punch out on someone else.
You've never got hit in a sparring training session because you was doing something stupid and been like, okay, I deserve that. Now, now, because we're sparring, let me go and make right on that. Because you go ahead.
I was sparring with I didn't know he was a pro at the time, and we're sparring together, and like he was hitting me a little hard. I'm like, yo, can you calm it down a little bit? Let's bring down the intensity. I don't want to get hit in the head too much right now. And he wouldn't calm it down, and he hit me with a good one. And I knew he was already really skilled. So like with that one, I got pissed. So I know he saw it in my face too. So I just let a straight right go. I rocked him. And I was expecting him to give me something. That motherfucker beat the fuck out of me. He beat the shit out of me. And like he waylaid me and I couldn't, like, he backed me into a corner and I couldn't get out of it. The thing with him is like his kicks, I could never see his kicks coming. So he'd always like sneak them. And then like once he gets me blocking the kick, he'll overwhelm me up top. Yeah, man. And after that day, I was like, I was mad I was really upset about it. But then I was like, I'm never gonna let that shit happen again. And I didn't spar with him for a good month. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna practice up and I'm gonna make sure next time he does that shit, I'm getting out of that corner. Like he's not gonna do that shit to me again. Yeah, yeah. The beating he gave me, like I thought I was bleeding through my ear.
Condoning that, I'm not condoning that level of a beating.
Yeah, but after that, like I told you, next few weeks I trained. I was like, I'm gonna be focused on this one. After 4 weeks, I started sparring with him again, and he started to realize he couldn't do that shit to me again. Like, and I know he wasn't. He doesn't seem like the type of guy that's gonna bring it down. Like he just kept going.
Yeah, there's definitely
he goes at his
bruisers. They're called
speed, and that's
bruisers.
it.
The bruisers.
Yeah, but like I knew how to handle him at that point.
That's less of a revenge story and a personal growth story.
Yeah,
like you could look at it as a revenge story because there's aspects of that. But I put myself in a situation and I'm going to do something about it so that it doesn't happen again. Now, the situation you told, that wasn't your fault. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if that was your fault.
No, it was my fault because I threw a little extra in that punch, and he saw it in my face. Like,
were you?
It wasn't
trying to be a dick.
Yeah, yeah. Because I already asked him. I was like, "Hey, can you bring it down?" And like we just kept sparring, and he just kept hitting me the way I was like, "Come on, man!"
But again,
like,
you're not
he hit
the
me
initiator.
good, and then I just like you saw it in my face.
But that's retaliation. But that's retaliation, Electric.
Yeah.
You're not going in there. And he's asking you, and then you punch him. You know what I'm saying?
So who's to say that even if he hadn't done that, that he wouldn't have been put in that corner because this dude just needed to get his workout?
Yeah, or you could have like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you would have been the instigator of the issue, got your ass beat, it would have humbled you. You probably did the same thing, but you would have had a more humbling mentality. And I would even argue that you were a little humbled then too. You're like, wow, I thought I was good. I've never got my ass beat like that again. Now let me do something so that doesn't happen again. Like that's a humbling experience.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
It's a little less because you weren't the asshole that initiated the problem. You still learned something from it.
Yeah.
And in Rebel, in your situation, you were fighting to try to help people, right?
Yeah.
And then when that happened, you're like, you know what? Y'all got that. And so you had to take a step back, but like, what am I doing this for? That punch absolutely changed you.
No, it made me more evil. I was trying to save him from embarrassing himself on stage.
And you realize that, you know what?
This ain't my problem.
I can't make you care.
I've spent however many weeks trying to prepare you for this performance, and I don't think you're ready, but you are fighting to go out there anyway.
I am also mad at you for using the friend card because I didn't want to perform at that one. You were like, "Come on, do it for me, for friends." And I was like, "Oh," and I did it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me do it. I'm mad at you still for that still.
I don't remember any of that.
Anyway, I think I'm ready to adopt Electric's protection against social media clout chasers. I can adopt and fold that into the whole punching decree.
Yeah.
I think that's acceptable.
I think there's a lot of people in the world, and punching is clearly not solving enough.
Yeah, because there's not enough of it.
I think there's plenty of punches going around. In fact, it seems
to the wrong people.
Yeah. And
man, that makes me think about those videos that I see of kids like in high school where there's one kid that doesn't want to fight and then the other kid does, and then that kid beats the shit out of the kid that doesn't want to fight. I hate those fucking videos, man.
Yeah.
I always feel bad for the kid that doesn't want to fight. Yeah, pretty much.
He's talking about institutionalized bullying.
No, it's controlled. It's not bullying. Because if hold on, it's not bullying.
It really is.
Hold on. You think so I can't use my kids as an example. They're not really good examples.
Yeah, but still, they didn't do this person. Like, just take somebody.
I can't use my kids. I'm like, yo, you're 13. Okay.
That's like saying everybody needs to go to jail.
In 2 years, we have your appointment at the punching center. So we're gonna get ready for it. And? Mentally, physically. You know how much training and stuff will be done and betterment and improvement will be done in that time? You don't just teleport around and be like, gotcha, bitch. Like,
you know how many people are not? You know how many people are just going to be like, this sucks. We need to overthrow this government that's making us all get punched in the face.
It's just one punch, dude.
So?
You're
We used
acting
to
like
have a
it's like
draft.
you're acting like they're forcibly deporting citizens. Like
I'm
this
just-
world is better.
Yes. This is
No, this
because of all
punching
the
world.
because of all the innocent people who are not getting punched in the face because some people are stupid.
You're
popping
still
off
looking
the
at
mouth.
this as
How
innocent
about-
and guilty. And Electric,
about
like
that
said, well,
just
the kid
be-
doesn't want to fight. I hate those videos. Yeah, I hate those videos too. And in Punch World, we'll still hate those videos. This isn't
Yeah.
about being innocent or guilty. No
How
one's
about it just
guilty.
be if you
Everyone's
talk
innocent.
wild, you get punched in the mouth? How about you have to earn it as opposed to
It should be standard.
yeah, it'll be a standard punch in the mouth. It's this is your crime. It's not. There's some things where hey, we've codified that if you say certain things, that's a crime. You can't yell fire in a theater, blah blah blah. Here we go. If you say certain things, you get punched in the mouth.
Give me an example, because you guys are both alluding to the same thing. I want to hear an example from either one of you guys.
All right. There's a famous individual who recently was unalived. He didn't get punched in the mouth.
He sure as hell didn't.
But to that point, if you say the type of things that this person said, you get punched in the mouth.
How do you enforce that? Now, okay, now
There
you're the
you
king
go.
of things. How do you enforce that?
It has to be agreed that, hey, we have video proof of this person saying these
Who
things.
does it? Vigilantes?
No, same authorities. The same way we make it a crime to say these things. Hate crimes already exist. This would just be an extension of
That
we-
gets dicey because again, freedom of speech. You
you are
can't
free. You cannot
Hold
say
on,
freedom
hold
of speech already has limitations. You cannot say any and everything you want. You can't
yeah,
yell bomb on a
but
plane.
let's say we're talking about like hate speech, right? Hate speech is still protected in a lot of ways.
That could be changed. There's a lot of things that used to be lynching used to be legal. I'm just saying there's
You
the
think
laws
that-
can evolve.
You think that hate speech should be illegal?
Yeah.
How about you, Electric?
Homie,
If what?
jaywalking
Hate
is
what?
illegal.
Hate speech.
Why are
Listen,
we
I'm
acting
not
like
here.
legality is
Hold on,
this, like, hey,
Rebel,
we need to
Rebel.
be careful about what's
Before Electric
legal.
responds, I am not like laws are laws. They must be fun. No, I'm not like I understand that laws change.
All right.
I understand that. What I'm saying is, Rebel, Electric, do you think that hate speech should be illegal? Like punishable by law?
It is.
It's not.
If you're beating the shit out of somebody and you start
That's not
saying
hate
certain
speech.
things,
That's not hate speech. That's an hate speech. Hate speech.
no, it's,
Hate
it's
speech
not,
itself
alright, yeah,
is not illegal, but
it's not.
when it gets added to a lot of actions, it makes it a hate crime. Hate crimes are.
So again, these people that you're referring to did not commit any hate crimes.
And
Now
so
you're saying
since
they
they're
should
not-
get punched in the face. I'm not saying I disagree. I'm
That's-
saying how would you enforce that?
the same way. So look, the same way we have to prove crimes, the moment we can prove you did hate speech, this was
Who's
your
we?
punishment.
Again,
In a court of law. In a court of
that
law.
makes hate speech illegal.
Yes.
No,
But the
I'm not down
punishment
with
is
that.
not jail time. The punishment is your punch in the mouth.
no, that's still illegal.
Oh no!
Punishment's not always jail. The punishment can be community service.
We need to make sure we protect the hate speeches because we want to punch everybody in the mouth like equally.
Every no, Electrics makes more sense because like if someone is harassing you and being a dick, like with cloud chasing and stuff, that a lot of times is a violation of, like your personal freedom, your personal space, your
Yes,
privacy, and stuff like that. Those
mine's
makes
a lot
sense that-
easier to implement.
that makes sense. That would be illegal.
Yeah, and the crime.
I'm
punch in
with
the mouth.
Electric. I'm with Electric on that.
I'm opening the door to a lot of things being a punch in the mouth crime.
Like what?
Hate speech, these type of pranks that Electric is talking about, these are all punched in the mouth thing. In fact, right now people get punched in the mouth for that without it even being established.
Yeah, but that's illegal. It's assault.
Hey, not every crime gets punished. Not every crime gets tried.
What about like
Again.
satire?
Jaywalking is a crime. People
What about,
jaywalk
like,
all the
When
time.
it's like satire.
Are we listening? Jaywalking is a crime. People jaywalk every day.
It's
They don't
stupid.
all
It
go
shouldn't
to
be
jail.
crime. That's stupid though. So like we're not arguing that because that's dumb.
Jaywalking should totally be a crime because the whole point is it's dangerous.
No, you don't. You need to look up the history of jaywalking, bro. That has nothing to do with safety. There's nothing to do with public safety.
Okay, I'll do that. later.
Nothing to do. You know what a J is?
An idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did that so they can claim the public streets as for cars. Like, it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with safety.
Public streets for cars, that's just physics.
No,
Walking
no.
the street all you
Electric,
want,
did you know
you
about
will get hit.
No.
Yeah.
Explain to us what jaywalking is.
So the street, and you can think about old timey movies, everyone's in the street.
Yeah. Especially like the
Everyone's in the
horse and
street.
buggy days.
The street was like just where people walked and did stuff.
Yeah, there wasn't
So when they invented the cars, they were like, yo, the cars are for the streets. And everyone was like, no, I'm for the street. That doesn't sound right.
sensational.
I'm for the streets. People are for the streets, not the cars.
Yeah.
And so the car companies were like, yo, we can't sell cars if there's people in the street. We need to get them out the street so we can actually use the cars. And so what happened was there was this large advertising campaign that called Jay means an idiot, like a dummy, right?
Yeah.
Don't be a Jay, walk on the side. And they would like make fun of people for being a ridiculous Jay for actually jaywalking or walking in the street.
Yeah.
And this ad campaign was so successful, it drove people outside the street so that cars could solely have ownership of the roads so that people can sell more cars. That's why jaywalking is still illegal, because jaywalking is a stupid thing that they should not give people tickets for, but they do anyway because it's still on the books. It was never about public safety. It was never about public safety.
What about seatbelts?
That's different.
But that's my point. There are some
No, that's not
things-
your point. No, that's not your point.
Oh my gosh. There are some things where the point
It's
is
not your point.
there are some things where the point is, hey, people need to do better, so we're making this law.
And some things are marketing ploys so that capitalists can make more money. Like those are the
Yes.
same thing.
Hey, sometimes it's both.
It's but you're not talking about those. Jaywalking is
so
specifically
you
so
think-
people can make more money.
You think jaywalking doesn't also like keep people from walking in the street and dying?
Do you, as a black man, do you understand the history of like over policing and jaywalking?
Of course. I mean,
Like,
there's enough overseers, yes.
Stupid. So no, it doesn't stop people from dying because people get killed and hit in crosswalks anyway.
For doing what?
Walking on the crosswalk.
Not everybody is justified in their walk that was in that crosswalk. There are
If you-
plenty of
listen,
people who were jaywalking and
Status of report that people don't get hit when they're walking on crosswalks.
I'm just
And they-
saying, look, there are some laws. There are many laws that were passed for a capitalist reason. And it's like, oh, this also benefits, this might also save some lives. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I agree, but jaywalking is not one of them.
All right. So
It's a
to
fake
that
crime.
point, there are some things that should be illegal. And I am proposing that the punishment for those crimes is getting punched in the mouth. Okay?
If you're gonna criminalize hate speech, I think that community service is a better punishment.
Oh my gosh. Like, wait. So you went from we need to punch everybody in the mouth so that people
Everyone
stop
in the
saying-
mouth.
We need to punch everybody
Every
in the mouth,
man, woman,
including
and
the people
child.
who were never going to say wild
Yeah.
stuff. We need to punch everybody in the mouth,
All of them.
which to me doesn't doesn't help your point, because if everybody's getting punched in the mouth, then it doesn't seem like, oh, you're getting punched in the mouth so you don't say stupid stuff. No, you're getting punched in the mouth because you were just going to get punched in the mouth in this dystopian society.
It's a
that you create.
preemptive strike.
It's really not though.
See what I-
That's
see
like
what I
saying
did
like
there?
all kids should get spankings. Like,
All kids should get spankings.
yeah, but all kids should get spankings when they do something bad. Not all kids should just spank them because it's Thursday.
Yeah, because that's child brutality.
Exactly. All you've done is just made
Move the age up. Like they're not children anymore. They're teenagers.
it's just brutality.
Think about what happened when you got punched in the face and you realized you could take a punch. Isn't that like an empowering thing for a kid?
That's not good.
Listen, my son, okay,
I need my
he
son to
got
be
kicked
less
in the
empowered.
face super hard.
The last thing I
Okay.
want is for my son to realize he can take a punch.
My kid got kicked in the face super hard with a kick, super hard.
Yeah.
It was bleeding everywhere, and he like lost it on the kid. Now I'm like, dude, when he falls down and like scrapes it, I'm like, dude, that doesn't hurt. Like you're good. And he's like, you know
Yes.
what? I am good. And he goes about his business. How is that not a positive?
Then you have my son, where the last thing I need for him to learn.
Again, there could be some written exception. And
So the people who don't need the punch are not getting the punch.
we'll check in. We'll check
Hold on.
in with him at 15. Okay. And if we need to move it further, we will.
The people who need to get punched are not getting punched. The people who don't need to get punched.
Didn't he get punched by my son?
Yeah, and it didn't help.
Okay. New rule. If you get, he didn't get.
I need to remind him he got punched already.
But he did get punched by my son. Okay, if you get your punch earlier, then you're exempt. Is that fair?
No. Because
some kids like that be scrapping. Like if you,
what do we do for repeat offenders? That's why I'm like, yo, let's make it a punishment so that, like, yo, if you want to keep doing hate speech, fine, just come get your punches.
Show proof of the punch, though. You have to like have like.
Yes, there will be witnesses. We will be fine. Like there's many crimes where it's like I saw him do this, and that's enough for conviction.
Okay. I don't know, man. I'm not with the prosecuting hate crime thing. If you're the king of thing, I'm not with that. It gets too dicey.
Well, hold up.
And I'm not pro hate crime. Not hate crime. So hold on, stop. Hold on. I misspoke.
Go back.
Shut up. I misspoke. I need to fix this. I said I'm not with prosecuting hate crimes. That is not what I meant.
I heard it.
I said I meant I'm not with prosecuting hate speech because it gets a little dicey. And I'm not pro hate speech.
This is not helping.
No, because like, listen.
Hey man, it's like jaywalking. People jaywalk every day. You gotta catch me. If I do some hate speech, you gotta prove it.
I'm having a hard time reconciling this because I think
the people who need the punch are going to be the people who
Electric. How do we fix this? Because I get what Rebel's saying, but it gets too complicated for me.
Does it? You're just not getting as many punches as you want.
I want Electric's take.
But I think the people who most need the punch will be loud and proud.
Let us speak.
All right.
Just like a lot of laws, I think this is a stupid ass law. That's my take on it. I think it's dumb as hell. I don't think anybody's gonna learn anything from it. And
hate speech?
No, the punch in the face. Oh, we're talking about hate speech now?
No, he's saying that punching somebody in the face for hate speech should be legal.
So I'm saying instead of everybody gets a blanket punch, I'm saying only the people who commit hate speech get punched. So that is the crime. Instead of like, oh, you go to jail because, that's never going to fly. You just get punched in the mouth. That's what happens now anyway. We're just like making it official. So instead of you said something wild, somebody else came, decked you in the mouth. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't.
Oh, I know how to fix it. But I want to electric.
We're removing. You know what? That's the easiest way to do it. We remove any assault charges for anyone.
That's what I was gonna say. You don't make it illegal.
Yeah, we just remove the assault charges for anybody who punches that person in the mouth.
Yeah, that's freedom of speech too.
There you go.
I'm down for the fuck around and find out law.
Yeah,
you know what? That's we fixed it.
Yeah.
Listen, hate speech isn't illegal.
Nope.
But if you get cracked for it, we don't prosecute it.
Exactly.
That's the FAFO law that we're putting into place.
GOP would love it. It's less laws. It's more freedom.
No, they wouldn't.
Sure they would.
No, they would freedom. Not. You think, listen, the GOP is clearly not about that.
But then there'll be so much violence.
It's more freedom of speech.
You know what?
There'll be so much violence because you'll have somebody that knows that they could beat so many people's asses. Then they'll go around just start saying whatever the fuck they want. They're like, I dare somebody step up. They do it in the right places.
They do it anyway.
Yeah, true.
Only now the people who are.
But now they're just hoping for the fight now. There's a difference. They're hoping to extract violence.
You know what kind of fight you're gonna get though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can I walk into rooms and I know whose ass I could beat.
But
they go into the certain room.
Fight.
They go into a certain room and they'll say, okay.
In a fist fight,
I could beat everybody in this room. I'm going to say whatever the hell I want, and I want somebody to pop off.
Electric, you're talking about a fist fight, though.
Yeah, and also,
what are we talking about then?
There's people
right now. He said drop all assault charges.
Yeah, as in there are people right now.
You can get attacked by chairs and bats.
Yeah, like
in what Brent's saying.
But then that escalates to killing somebody eventually.
No, we said assault.
Murder, not murder.
Yeah.
Listen, we'll drop the assault charges, but you're gonna get tried for that murder.
Yeah. Just make
The
sure
state
they
will
live.
turn its eye to you cracking that person upside the head.
And then my son was like, because somebody said we got into an altercation. My son was like, hit him to the car and then call the police. It's like, no.
Again, we will have to revisit his case later.
My point is, you would have people beaten and then taking them to the hospital and be like, hey, make sure he lives.
I think the only hard part about that is, and then we can leave this as case by case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How much force during the assault is
Not to mention,
acceptable.
not to mention, think about this. There's people right now who would totally beat up on somebody who's talking wild, but they're like, I have too much to lose because of assault charges.
Yeah, but you can't like Rodney King somebody for hate speech. You know what I'm saying? For like saying a slur. You know, that's excessive. So
And to that point,
so the judge would have to be like, if charges were pressed, would have to assess if proper escalation of force or retaliatory force was used.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you get like a little bit of a credit.
Yeah.
But what if there's
charges are
like 20
pressed.
people they say it in front of and everybody's offended? Now
Yeah.
you're getting 20 people
Yes.
on that ass.
You earned that.
I think that there's a credit for the violation.
Yeah.
So let's say that you say some slurs in front of the wrong people, and that like deserves like 900 Newton pounds of force. Then that needs to be dispersed against the entire crowd. Okay, he got his, we should back off now. But if everybody starts dumping in on you, now all those people got to get charged. And then we'll give them credit for the first part of that ass beating, but we charge them for everything that was excessive.
Cinco de August. That brother threw that hat. Hey.
That was acceptable.
That was acceptable. All right. I like that we
Bro, your eyes
solved
are
this.
red, bro.
I feel like we solved this.
You good, bro?
I'm tired.
He's tired.
Oh man, we gotta get you some ginseng, bro.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
ginkgo biloba.
It's good that we established this. That way we're not all in the room all getting sick together because one of us is sick. Hey,
Who's sick?
he just said
my throat is hurting
He said he's tired.
and sick.
Oh my God, you don't listen.
Because you
You
talk too
have
damn much.
headphones on.
Because you talk too damn much. You talk over everybody. I can't hear what he's saying.
You were the only one talking when he said it.
Hold on. Who am I? I'm electric. I'm sick. I'm tired.
And this man be
All right, he's
tired.
sick. All right, let me stop messing with me. He's sick.
All
Leave
right,
him
so
alone.
then let's let him get to sleep. All right. I'm just glad we agreed. All right.
We caught off. Well, listen, we worked together, and
Yep.
you actually convinced the king to change his opinions. That's impressive.
Hey man, we might be able to get this pushed into law. What do you want the law to be called?
The FAFO law.
FAFO. Yeah. All right. This has been the HLS podcast, the podcast that never was. Late to the party. Radical Teddy and Friends. Haters Loving Science. Habitually long speeches. Happens like sundowns. Hippies loving showers. We'll figure out something for getting hit in the lips for saying stuff. HLS, getting hit in the lips for saying stuff. I'm the Rebel Alliance.
I'm King Scrotawola.
And this is Electric Thunder. Thank you for listening, guys. Please like, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends. Tell them come check us out.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm shaking, bro. What you shaking for?
Because he's sleepy. This
My desk.
The whole thing is shaking.
podcast to sleep.
Center yourself.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Awesome.
All right, Joe.
What
Right.
if something just walked out that room right now?
That would be
Yo.
dope. I was actually doing the same thing too.
That would not be dope.
Phasmophobia.
What's the thing? Hopefully no butt naked clothes. Wow, pull the string. All right, Joe.
Abanki bueno bia jenga fero ke osimiri ncheta obodo